5 to go. Just make sure you don't get any rogue moisture in that cue stick.
He's playing with a lot of confidence right now. You can see that. He's kind of prancing around the table, smiling at the crowd. I mean, this is a reasonably difficult shot, but he's real confident. He feels like he can make anything. Of course, it helps to have a commanding lead. Hit it perfect. Hit it perfect.
Yeah, I think Imran's played his last, made his last contribution to this World Championship.
Courageous performer, Imran Majid. Some people would have given up. He was in such bad shape a couple days ago.
Yeah, really had to tough it out in that match against Wang yesterday. Helped, it has to be said, by a Wang that didn't seem to be too concerned about what was going on. He'd already qualified. But as you say, nothing's come easy for Majid this trip. Now this trip looks like it's about to come to an end. 7 in a row for Van Corteza, and the concession made by Imran Majid accepted by Van Corteza, and the celebrations can begin among his little entourage. He's through to the last 32.
Popular player over here, Van.
He falls into that one to watch category. He gets a European in the last 32 with a possible match up against Rodolfo Luat in the last 16. If that one pans out, that'll be a match to watch. We're going to take a short break. Back for more in a moment.
Commentary team of Mick Holling and Jay Helford.
Thanks, Uday. I'd like to say things have been picking up for Denis Orcollo, but they haven't. What we've missed is a Reyes break and run out. Then Orcollo was in control of the next rack, lost it, misplaced the cue ball again, but was grateful for a rare Reyes error to come back and take the rack. But more problems for Denis here in rack number 8.
Efren fell a little short on position in the 6th ball, but I think he'll be all right. Yeah, this is a pretty tight shot on the 6th ball. Getting past that 8.
And he's just shoved the 7.
Look at this. A little more of the Reyes magic there.
And every time you see a shot like that, you wonder what it does to Denis Orcollo's fragile psyche. I mean, it couldn't have been worse, really. You just look back at that first rack, the very first shot from Orcollo, the break, scratched. And then Reyes wins it with a fluke on the 9. I mean, that was an omen right there. And it seemed to just take all the stuffing out of Denis Orcollo before we'd even started.
6-2, that's a commanding lead.
There were people who said, Jay, Denis Orcollo had a shot at this one, but it's not turning out that way, is it?
It's all Efren right now.
Elsewhere, Kaplan and El Qaeda continuing to go head-to-head. Roy Pancho holding his lead over our friend from Germany. 8-all, Marcus Juber and Rudy Morta. That's a good comeback from Morta. And Marco Schudi of Switzerland with the edge over Huang of Chinese Taipei.
No, please.
We have qualifiers in the last 32 from all corners of the globe except the United States.
Thanks for adding that, Nick.
Well, who'd have believed that a few years ago? That's a rack. But Denis might say, well, I might have a chance at doing something here. He's got to negotiate a lot of table to get from 1 to 2. But after that, it should clean up.
It's a good rack for him right here, but he's struggled with racks like this already in the match. He's got in trouble 2 or 3 times. What Denis is known for is expert cue ball control, just like Efren, but it hasn't worked for him here yet.
Well, we haven't seen it at all in this match, have we? Quite the opposite. His control of the cue ball has been Very sloppy.
This is what he needs to do. This is perfect. He threaded the needle there between the 9 and the 8. Perfect position on the 2.
He is a serious talent in this part of the world. You talk to Filipino pool players about who they rate, and after the obvious candidates, this fella's name crops up over and over again.
Well, in the private money games that go on in the back rooms of the big pool rooms in the Philippines, he's the man right now. But it's a little different story when you're playing to a crowd like this in a big world championship. A lot more pressure.
And Efren Reyes, who just has this magical spell over his compatriots. Whew, that wasn't exactly the most convincing pink, but he's okay.
Efren is the role model for all these young Filipino players. He's a kid that came from the streets of Angeles City, came to the United States, made fame and fortune. He's in the Hall of Fame already, made millions of dollars. He's a wealthy man in the Philippines and a very generous benefactor to many people. And that's what players like Dennis would like to emulate.
Needs this 9. Yes, he's got it. That was a good shot from Dennis Orcollo.
Dennis actually came to the United States for the first time this year, and he's already won 3 major tournaments over there. So he's made his mark already. Won the World Pool League title this year.
In other words, what you're saying, he's a man that is used to success on the big stage. This should not overawe or intimidate him. He's played on the big stage before and been successful. But the big stage and this fella, is that a combination too much for Dennis Orcollo?
Rack 10, Efren Reyes to break.
I would venture to say this is the biggest match of his life so far. In his home, in his native land, playing a pool god. I suspect millions of Filipinos are up all over the nation watching this match right now.
That is one sensational break, but as we've seen so often, the one thing you want off the break is a good shot on your next available ball, in this case the 1. And what can Reyes find with that? I was going to say there's nothing obvious, but of course it's Efren Reyes with the cue in his hand.
What I think he's looking at is the possibility of playing the cue ball off the side of the 1 and making the 5 in the upper corner there. He's a terrific billiard player. That's what this is. That's what he wants to shoot. Biggest problem being he's got to stretch way across the table to reach it.
I think you're right, Jay. He's got the radar set. And he's going for the rest just to add another degree of difficulty to a shot that's not exactly ideal.
Tough shot, but nobody shoots these little delicate shots better than Efren. He double kissed it, but it went.